It's Beer O'Clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a brand new beer from Tiny Rebel Brewing Company, and this is their 313 Craft Lager, coming in at 4.6% ABV in a 330 milliliter can. It's that kind of classic Tiny Rebel, but stroke American style branding. If you imagine what, say, a Pepsi looked like in the 1930s, 1940s. Of course, this is not Pepsi. I'm just talking branding. It's that kind of classic branded look. I think anyway, classic American branding. It looks good. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. A little bit of smoke on the can opening. This beer is available in Sainsbury's. But the beer was actually kind enough. It was kindly given to me by Tiny Rebel whilst I was at Brew London. But of course, with the beer being given to me by Tiny Rebel, this is always and always will be a 100% kind of honest kind of. I like to mention that, especially when you're kind of hand-given beers from breweries and you stand there and you drink with them and you have fun with them and you shake their hands and you tell jokes and stuff. I still like to say on the review, because, you know, these companies do watch. Regardless of all of that, regardless of all the friendship, the most important thing is the review, the independent review. Because I'm sure they want their feedback as well. Tiny Rebel will want feedback of you know what their beer is tasting like. There's no point there's no point to anyone at all if I'm not 100% honest. So here we go. One finger white head. Good levels of moving carbonation, moving up the middle of the glass there. It's not kind of crazy, but likewise it's not flat. It's a little haze in there. It looks very, very straw coloured, very light looking. Almost looks like a Coors Light, doesn't it? Very light. Let's get the aroma. It's got the aroma of a very solid lager. And for me, that is what it always was going to be. Solid, but kind of hopefully massively smashable. At 4.6% ABV, yeah, you could drink a few pints of this, couldn't you? A few cans. Spicy, peppery. Little bit of lemon coming through. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. I like that. I like that. It's really good quality stuff. Really, really good quality lager. Quite a bit of carbonation pushing the beer on the inside of the mouth, releasing more of that flavour. It's got a little bit of stinging nettle. It's got a little bit of Czechness about it, like a Czech lager. It's got a little bit of kind of German, kind of Bohemia Pilsner about it. Bohemia's Czech Republic, but I mentioned that with Germany. Got a little bit mixed up there. But it's lemony. It's hoppy. It's smashable. It's drinkable. It's quite terrific, actually. It's quite terrific. I'm going to say stone the crows. Stone the crows for Tiny Rebel's Craft Lager, 313 Craft Lager. Now, I mentioned I was at Brew London recently, and I want to bring this subject up because I spoke to a few people regarding British lager. And the consensus was, because there was a couple, you had Budvar were there, Budweiser from the Czech Republic, they were there. You had there was a Belgian company, Brewery Hatched. They had a lager there, which was very, very good. And you also had Krombacher, and the Krombacher was very good. The Krombacher unfiltered was terrific at Brew London. The conversation, the chat was that people at the end of their kind of session would have drunk a couple of these lagers from these European companies that have been making lagers for hundreds of years between them. Pardon me. They were incredibly good, incredibly drinkable lager. And then we're talking about British stuff now. And the consensus was that it's improving. It's improving. It's not yet at the level of great European lagers, lager styles, be it Pilsner, be it Helles. It's not quite there yet. It's a bit, how can I describe British lager? Because there's a lot of British craft brewers brewing lagers now. It's all a bit, British brewers are used to brewing ales. Ale after ale after ale. They're not really used to producing lagers. And when some of the bigger regional breweries do, they tend to contract brew. They tend to buy a kind of a batch lager and rebrand it into their own name. Tiny Rebel haven't done that here. I can taste of this, their own lager. But what I get from British lager is it's still on the malty side. It's still not as crisp and clean as a European lager. But and that was after having a conversation with about 15 different people about British lager. But drinking this today, it's the reason why I put the glass down and said, "Stone the crows," is because I think this is as close. This is as close as to being a great European, German kind of Czech style lager as any of the other British lagers that I've tried. This is really good, really, really good. So my prediction is over the next 2 years, 3 years, I think British craft brewers will continue to work on their lager producing skills, and the quality of British lager from British craft brewers will only get better. But they're not quite there yet. This is fab. I could drink gallons of this. Gallons of it. It is terrific. Lovely hop profile coming through. Lovely balance between the little bit of sweet malt over there. The little bit of bitterness that's coming through from the hops in the beer. It's a lovely balanced beer. You could combine a multitude of foods with this, whether you want to eat a hot dog from the barbecue or some chicken breast or some spicy food, some Indian food. You know, the world is your oyster with a good quality craft lager when it comes to food pairing. I'm very happy with this. Very, very happy with this. I hope this is the future for Tiny Rebel. I hope Tiny Rebel move away from their fruit concentrate beers. I know it's a big market for them. But again, having conversations with people at Brew London, a lot of people were saying Tiny Rebel's not for them because of all of their kind of fruit concentrate forward beers. This is, if anybody from Tiny Rebel are watching, this is the future. This is really good. Really, really, really good. It probably cost a little bit of money to produce. It's probably been in lager storage for quite a bit of time, but it's worth the investment. This is top quality lager. I'd rather drink this than Club Tropica or any of the jam pale ales, or what have we got here? We got a Fruzy, is it? A fruit smoothie IPA. I'm going to review it, but I'm probably not going to like it. This is for me. Whether I'm and I've mentioned this before, whether I'm just a middle-aged man now that just wants easy drinking beer, I don't know. I don't think so. I'm still drinking Neepers and Imperial Stouts and whatnot. But yeah, give me something that I want another one of, and another one, and another. Give me 4 or 5 cans of this all day long. It's terrific. Absolutely terrific. I'm going to rate it. Great looking lager, great aroma. I feel it's a step up from the previous craft lager that Tiny Rebel produced. I can't remember the name of it now. Their previous craft lager was good. This is excellent. This is excellent lager. I like that enough. Honestly, I like that. For a British lager, that's right up there with the best British lagers on show. And it's right up there with some of the best European lagers out there too. That's a 9 out of 10 for me. 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.